Listen up, because the gun snobs have been lying to you for decades. They will tell you that if you want absolute precision to harvest big game, you have to run an overpriced bolt-action safe queen. That is pure garbage. Today we are looking at the top 7 semi-automatic hunting rifles delivering surgical accuracy and rapid follow-up shots. Stick around for our #1 pick because it shatters all expectations. Coming in at number 7 is the Bear Creek Arsenal BC-8 Huntmaster. It is a heavyweight brawler that finally gives the AR platform the magnum muscle it deserves. For decades, guys needing the heavy payload of a 30-06 or 300 Winchester Magnum had to rely on traditional bolt guns. Bear Creek cracked the code by stretching the entire AR architecture to run long-action cartridges reliably. They engineered a specialized heavy buffer system and a perfectly timed rifle-length gas system to handle that massive case length. To keep everything locked down tight, they run a polymer accuracy wedge that absolutely kills any slot between the upper and lower receivers. You also get a massive right-side charging handle machined from billet aluminum. This lets you cycle the beast smoothly without breaking your cheek weld or fighting your oversized optic bell. When you are sending heavy metal downrange, the sheer mass of this rig acts as a kinetic sink to soak up that magnum recoil. Pair that with a factory tank-style muzzle brake, and you can actually watch your impacts through the glass. It handles the pressure so well, you can run it hard without a single hiccup. But here is the deal breaker. Stretching an AR receiver and throwing on a 20-inch heavy profile barrel means this thing tips the scales at over 8.5 pounds empty. It is just way too heavy to be a backcountry mountain gun. If you want unprecedented firepower for dropping dangerous game or anchoring hogs across a canyon, you need to look at this rig. This Magnum platform will run you anywhere from $1,150 to $1,580. Coming in at number 6 is the Stag Arms Stag 10 Pursuit. This is a purpose-built precision hunter for guys taking long shots across windy canyons and wide open spaces. Most heavy AR platforms are ruined by a gritty military spec trigger that completely wrecks your accuracy when it counts. Stag Arms tossed that garbage and dropped in a premium Timney 2-stage trigger right from the factory. It gives you a clean 2-pound take-up and an ultra-crisp 2-pound break so you can execute a perfect press every single time. When you pair that rigid barrel extension with the harmonic stability of their nitride-coated steel barrel, the results are absolutely undeniable. Out in the field, this platform consistently prints sub-minute of angle groups, dropping bullets into less than an inch at 100 yards, using factory 65 Creedmoor hunting loads. It is a highly refined laser beam that lets you reach out and put meat on the table with total confidence. They also know that hauling a heavy tactical rig up a steep mountain is brutal on your back and shoulders. The fully adjustable Magpul CTR stock lets you collapse the whole system down to 36 inches, so you can strap it to your pack without snagging on heavy timber. They even added a custom embossed leather cheek piece that gives you a warm and comfortable weld when you are freezing on a late-season stalk. But here is the deal breaker. While it is a masterpiece of precision engineering, that premium performance demands a serious investment. Dropping $2,200 on a bare rifle before you even buy glass or a mount is a tough pill to swallow for the average working guy. Coming in at number 5 is the Savage MSR-10 Hunter. This platform is a rugged multi-caliber workhorse built to drop heavy game in the harshest conditions on Earth. Savage optimized this direct impingement system with a proprietary 18-inch fluted barrel utilizing 5R rifling geometry. By sloping the internal transitions, it drastically cuts down on bullet deformation and aerodynamic drag when the round exits the muzzle. It also stops heavy copper and carbon buildup, so you get surgical accuracy that stays consistent through a long string of fire. They treated the barrel and bolt with a specialized melanite finish that makes the steel harder than chrome. This means the platform is virtually immune to backcountry rust and handles flawlessly when the weather turns brutal. But here is the deal breaker. The factory buffer spring is incredibly stiff right out of the box and requires a dedicated break-in period. If you jam a fully loaded 20-round magazine in there on day one, you might experience a few feeding hiccups until that heavy spring finally settles. If you want a modular platform that lets you swap upper receivers for different hunts, it will run you about $1,481. That is a solid price for a reliable tool that puts meat on the table season after season. Überzeugen. Coming in at number 4 is the Ruger SFAR or Small Frame Autoloading Rifle. Überzeugen. This absolute engineering disruptor completely shatters the gunst myth that a 308 Winchester AR-10 has to be a heavy and bulky nightmare in the woods. Überzeugen. Ruger basically defied physics by shrinking a heavy .30 caliber platform down to the exact physical footprint of a standard AR-15. Überzeugen. They pulled this off by redesigning the bolt and barrel extension, using superior titanium and steel alloys capable of eating the 62,000 psi chamber pressures of the 308. Überzeugen. Cartridge. When you shoulder this rig, you will immediately notice it only weighs 6.8 pounds unloaded. Überzeugen. That drastic weight reduction is an absolute lifesaver when you are traversing steep mountain elevations or hauling your gear into a backcountry hunting blind. Überzeugen. To make sure this lightweight bolt carrier does not cycle too fast and rip the brass apart, they installed a mandatory 4-position adjustable gas block. Überzeugen. When you dial that gas flow down to match your specific hunting load, it shoots incredibly soft and stays perfectly flat through the recoil impulse. Überzeugen. You can easily punch 0.95-inch groups using 165 grain Sierra Game King ammunition, so you can harvest game with surgical precision. But here is the deal breaker. Überzeugen. Because this platform is such a massive game changer, Ruger has run into serious supply chain constraints and even discontinued certain production lines. Überzeugen. That means tracking one down at your local gun shop can be incredibly frustrating right now. Überzeugen. If you can actually find one on the rack, this lightweight backcountry powerhouse will run you exactly $1,229. Coming in at number 3 is the Winchester SXR2 Field. This platform is an absolute blue-collar brawler that gives you top-tier mechanical performance without demanding a premium country club price tag. It is built for the working man who needs a reliable tool to drop heavy timber game. The heart of this rig is a highly reliable self-regulating gas piston system mated to a massive 7-lug rotary bolt. When you send a round down range, that bolt unlocks and cycles with a smooth but aggressive force that keeps the rifle running clean and cool. It locks directly into the barrel extension to create a rock-solid steel cylinder at the moment of ignition. That vault-like lockup gives you the surgical precision of a bolt action with the blazing cyclic rate of a gas gun. Because it only weighs 7 pounds and 4 ounces with its aerospace-grade aluminum receiver, it carries like a dream through the thickest brush. When you're wearing heavy winter gloves, that oversized bolt handle lets you run the action fast and hard without slipping. But here is the deal breaker. Instead of modern weather-resistant coatings and shim adjustable composite hardware, you are stuck with a standard matte blued finish and a fixed satin walnut stock. If you drag this rig through a freezing rainstorm or bust through snowy timber, you better be ready to aggressively scrub and oil that steel the second you get back to camp. For the guys who prioritize raw mechanical reliability to put meat on the table over fancy aesthetics, this is your workhorse. It delivers devastating terminal ballistics and will only set you back about $1,440. Coming in at number 2 is the Benelli R1 Endurance Pro. This lightning-fast brush gun takes combat-proven fluid dynamics and drops them right into the American deer woods. It swings and handles with the speed of a fine upland bird gun, but hits with the absolute authority you need to drop heavy game right in its tracks. The mechanical heart of this beast is the auto-regulating gas-operated system pulled straight from the United States military tactical shotguns. It taps the expanding gases right at the chamber when they are at maximum pressure and drives two short stroke pistons directly into the bolt tail. This brilliant engineering totally eliminates those clunky heavy action bars running under the barrel so the rifle balances perfectly right between your hands. Because it vents the gas up front, it runs incredibly clean so you can cycle strings of fire all day without grinding up your action with carbon sludge. They also packed the synthetic hardware with their progressive comfort system, which uses interlocking flexible baffles to eat the recoil impulse. When you send a heavy 30-06 round downrange, those internal baffles compress and soak up the kinetic energy like a giant sponge. Throw in a cryogenic treated barrel that is frozen to negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit for maximum precision, and you get a platform that stays completely locked on target through the glass for insanely fast follow-up shots to harvest your game. But here is the deal breaker. When you pack a hunting platform with cryogenic barrel treatments and advanced military gas systems, the price tag absolutely skyrockets to premium levels. This highly engineered rig will drain your wallet for a massive $2,049 before you even buy a decent optic. Taking the undisputed #1 spot is the Browning BAR Mark III. This legendary platform is the absolute apex predator of the traditional hunting woods that refuses to compromise on field reliability. It bridges the gap between classic aesthetic lines and modern aerospace metallurgical advancements to give you the ultimate tool for putting meat on the table. The secret to its enduring dominance is the massive 7-lug rotating bolt locking directly into the barrel extension. When you send a heavy 300 Winchester Magnum downrange, that bolt creates a rigid, unified steel cylinder that perfectly mirrors the Volt-like lockup of a premium bolt-action rifle. It utilizes a heavy-duty action bar and an inertia block link-up system specifically engineered to soak up harmonic shock and completely kill barrel vibration during the violent cyclic process. That rock-solid stability means you get dead-on precision and butter-smooth extraction even when the chrome-plated chamber is caked with gritty carbon fouling or freezing rain. They wrap the entire barrel and precision alloy receiver in a ridiculously tough smoked bronze Cerakote to fight off backcountry corrosion. Then they drop the whole system into a shim adjustable composite stock, finished in their proprietary camouflage so you get absolute ocular alignment with your glass. But here is the deal breaker. Even with the advanced gas operation and the polymer recoil pad, running heavy magnum loads through a bare 7-pound rifle is going to severely beat up your shoulder during a long day of practice at the range. It is built to carry light in the heavy timber, but you will definitely feel that kinetic energy transfer when you press the trigger. If you want to wield the undisputed king of traditional semi-automatic hunting platforms, it will pull about $1,920 out of your wallet. The industry has completely shifted, proving that you no longer have to sacrifice accuracy for cyclic speed in the woods. Stop listening to the gun store commandos and start trusting real-world ballistics over fancy brand names. Which one of these heavy-hitting autoloaders are you taking on your next backcountry hunt? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. Train hard, stay safe, and I will see you downrange.